When I was going downhill, my toes were just getting pushed into the bottom, into the ends of the shoes, and it was ripping my toenails up, and all of my skin under my toenails went black just from blood blisters.
It's epic, it's big, it's got unpolluted waters, it's got fish in abundance, it's got culture and people who are living as they did hundreds of years ago. It's easy to believe that adventures can't happen in this day and age, but it still can be found.
As soon as you get there, you think, unreal, let's go on an adventure, because you don't really know what's going to happen.
It's chartering, but it's still exploration as far as I'm concerned, because we don't know all the places. We love every trip that we do, and we're always learning and finding new things that you can't plan for. Guests sail with us. It's not a fully manned powerboat with heaps of people. It's just us and whoever's coming. So everyone has to chip in. And if they don't know how to sail, they soon learn.
Okay, you think, okay, we're going out, we're going for 12 days, okay. Hopefully we'll be back on the 12th day.
When it came time to choose a boat, I'd always liked Warrum Designs. They're catamarans based on Polynesian-style canoes. And I think she's got beautiful lines. I love her. And she's perfect for what we're doing. Usually there's heaps of fish where we anchor. We also troll from the dinghy up rivers, along mangroves. Sometimes we catch big reef fish. Other times it's small mangrove jack, tuna. All nice eating fish.
The showering is very primitive. We've just got a water container that fills up, you hang it from the sail and you stand out there. But usually you just shower in your swimmers, and that's not all that private, but it's good enough.
It has that element of hunter-gatherer, because the food we cook at night has either been caught that day or picked from a garden that morning.
Breakfast is usually fruit, or we can cook up toast. Lunchtime, we might have a sandwich. The evening meal can be a pasta, rice, usually the catch of the day, whatever fish we've caught. Plus, we always have our greens.
It becomes an event. You're watching the sun go down and you're like, okay, yeah, time to cook dinner together. And it can go on for 2 hours while the smell is wafting up and you're telling stories about what happened that day.
These guys have just got such a beautiful life over there, so simple. I know it might sound cliche, but it did change my world. You think about your values and how much time you spend with your family and your friends, and you realise these people over there are so warm, genuine, and they actually really love you and they want to talk to you. They want to find out all about you. When you first get there, you think, are these guys for real? Are they really that genuine? And you go, yeah, they are.
You were saying before, it's interesting with how they get the blonde hair.
Bougainvilleans, they're blue-black, very dark. In New Ireland and Tolai, West New Britain, in the New Britain, we're a little bit lighter than North Solomons.
Oh, okay.
The type of surfers that we're getting up there are the adventurous type, and the people that are just fed up with the crowds. Around New Hanover, there's actually about 6 islands. Each island's got lefts and rights breaking off, and it's just unbelievable. It's not a gigantic sized wave place. The consistent waves are probably 4 to 6 foot. Diving, you can take it at any speed you want. There's places where we go, we've taken people out and we just go snorkeling. For the more experienced person, we go down on wrecks, submarines, aircrafts, ships. So it doesn't matter what stage of diving you're at, we've got something up there that you're really going to enjoy.
Some of the planes are smaller and you can actually sit in the cockpit and feel like you're flying the thing. Others are huge ships that you're just looking at masses of what used to be metal.
heaps and heaps. It's endless what you can see out there. It's different every time you get out there. And the worst thing, or the best thing, is the sharks. Yeah, the first time I seen a shark, I got down there, I got down to about 20 metres. And Jesse was there sort of pointing behind me, and I sort of casually glanced around. I seen this nice reef shark. I was just swimming along, and it scared me. And I was backpedaling as quick as I could. There's so many things to see down there, like the sharks aren't that big a priority. And then the best buzz is when you get out and you think about it, and you think, oh, I've been down there. And yeah, it's just so unreal.
The spirituality there is strong and alive. So the country has a lot of churches, but before the churches there was the traditional beliefs, and somehow they still coexist side by side.
The shark callers, they're the men from the village of Tembin on the west coast of New Ireland. They take you out in their canoes and they take rattles made out of coconut shells. Once the shark comes up to it, they have a noose set up, like a large wooden propeller on it. That stops the shark from going back under the water, and they just end up exhausting themselves. And then they just take it in and eat it. Whilst it's happening, you think, I really don't want to be here. You think this is too hard. But you can't really stop because you're part of a team. You can't let them down. And one thing you never do is ask how far, when are we going to get there, how far to go or anything like that. It's just, you just don't do that. You just keep going. Welcoming us, the ritual that we had to go through, just you wash yourself first, then you get cleaned, and the welcoming ceremony. I couldn't speak, it was very hard to take it all in.
Well, during the spirit dance, during the day, the men are dressed with these almost like big tails, and through the back it's pierced and tied, and that's all that's really holding it in.
Well, I believe they put themselves into a trance days before just to cope with the pain, just to get through it all. That afternoon they got the fire going and they burnt that for hours just to get it hot enough, and then some of the elders who had done it before were there as guides and leaders, mainly I think to look after them so that they didn't trance out too much, they didn't really hurt themselves. It's sort of soul searching. You can't ring up your mum and say, hey mum, come and pick me up, or you can't get a taxi, you can't go home.
Coming back from a trip aboard a Magica, it's an experience hard to describe.
It's not a 5-star cruise where you just sit back and relax, you've got to work. But at the end of it you'll go, wow, I did that. I sailed that boat, I navigated it, I climbed that mountain, you know? There's all these things. I swam on that wreck, I surfed that point, wow.
Most of the best moments I've experienced over there, you can't plan for them, but they just happen.
Yeah, there is a big wow factor in the whole thing.
Minagila.